Let's go to cnbc.com. Let's see, Nasdaq's doing well. Let me look at US 10-year, okay? I got two of them there. I will also talk about that second one, but it says 4.106, okay? In fact, let me open that. Let's see. This is kind of an indicative bond, because there are many bonds where maturity is close to 10 years, but they kind of use that. This is an indicator to the market. That doesn't mean every single bond that is about 10 years has that yield, but approximately that's the case. So this bond has a coupon rate of 3.875. That means every 6 months it's gonna pay $19.36.5 for a $1,000 face value bond, okay? And it's going to do that for 10 years. That means there are 20 coupons. At the end of 10 years, you'll get another 1,000. And the yield to maturity on this is 4.106. That simply means the following. Bonds in the market trade at a price, okay? So if I have this bond, $1,000 face value, I'm gonna pay a certain value for it. I don't know, maybe $925. That value is actually determined by discounting those cash flows at that yield to maturity, which we're gonna do pretty soon. Technically speaking, yield to maturity is something that you infer from the price, because when you ask for a bond code, they never give you the rate. They actually give you the price. Cash flows from a bond discounted at the YTM gives you the bond value. Its value of a bond is basically the present value of cash flows from it, discounted at using yield to maturity as your discount rate. So if all I have to do is, we're gonna do a new template for some esoteric other reasons, but let me go back to the Excel file we had last time. Okay, so I have no growth, payments are the same. Let's put this into setup mode and present. The balloon or APR 4.106. My first period pay is gonna be $40. Of course, I'm gonna make that variable using the coupon rate, but number of years 10 and a balloon payment of 1,000. Oh, frequency of payments is 2. I'm sorry. Oh, that's not $40. That's for now. I'll put a formula there. So 1938.5. So the value of that bond would have been 981. So if the interest rates go up to 5%, that value goes down. Interest rates come down to, let's say, 3.5, that value goes up. You may have heard this in financial press. The value of a bond is inversely related to the interest rates. So when interest rates go up, bond values go down. And that's normal because value of a bond is present value of a fixed set of cash flows. And you use those interest rates to calculate those present values. So when interest rates go up, the monies that are more into the future are worth less. You just add them up, you have the bond value. But we're gonna do kind of our own little template. Let me close this without doing any saving. Not because for calculation purposes I need to do that. Remember, when we do templates, we do those with a final user. You can think of that as kind of little software. People who may not know too much about bonds are going to use it. So you got to make it user-friendly, right? First of all, I'm not going to have these options. Okay? I don't even think that I'm going to have that option, but this setup does not allow you to delete the first two. So I'm just going to leave it blank like that. For inputs, for a bond, we have many inputs. I have coupon rate, okay? Oops. And to delete one of these inputs, that cell on that table has to be selected. And if I do that, it's not in a table, so I can't delete it. So I technically say delete the row of the active cell. But if it's not on a table, there is no active cell. I'm going to add a few ones. I can always delete them if it's too much. Yield to maturity. And let's put that. Since I'm going to have these guys, where are you? In percent form, face value, coupon frequency. Let's see, 2. I think that's all I need, but for cosmetic purposes, I'm going to add a few more. So I'm going to do this. Number of coupons, number of years times coupon frequency, coupon amount, take the face value, multiply it with coupon rate, and divide it by coupon frequency. Again, I'm doing this only for cosmetic purposes. For calculations, I could have done all of that in line, but I also want the user of this template to see exactly how many coupons are there and what's the value of those coupons. So I'm going to make these guys in currency format. I don't know what happened. If I don't specify it, it makes that into euro. I mean, if I was teaching in Belgium, that would have been nice, but we're not in Belgium now, are we? I'm gonna leave that as integer. Technically speaking, This does it for non-integer values too, but and I'm gonna add one more digit to that. All right. I'm gonna actually add one more input. I'm gonna call this current yield. Sometimes bonds are summarized using their current yield. I would never that for trading purposes, but current yield come on equals face value times coupon rate divided by bond value. All right. So instead of target value,